So if you're considering buying a new construction home in Southern California, this video is going to walk you through the complete process and help you avoid a lot of costly mistakes that can certainly impact your purchase. So I am going to cover everything from selecting the right builder all the way through closing day, including important details that you need to understand before getting started with your search for a new home. I'm Steve Enchin, your Southern California new construction home expert, and every week I talk with folks just like you about the right way to buy a brand new home. So let's get started first with the process for searching for a new home and the different types of homes. Because when you're looking at new construction here in Southern California, you'll typically encounter three main home types. Each comes with a different lifestyle and cost considerations. So first, your single family detached homes, and these give you the most privacy, often have your own yard space, and typically have the strongest resale value within a community. But you're going to be responsible for maintaining your own exterior and landscaping. You'll have more control over modifications and improvements, depending on, of course, your HOA rules. Pricing varies based on location, size, and the lot characteristics. Now, with townhomes, or what we can call row homes, these feature shared walls. You share the walls with neighboring units. They have a lot of modern construction techniques. They have like airless gaps between the walls to reduce or even eliminate sound, but they do have smaller private outdoor spaces like little patios, but they often have these shared community amenities like swimming pools. Now, because these are attached residences and they share these common elements like roofs and walls, the HOA typically maintains both the community amenities and a separate fund for shared structural maintenance. The result of this, of course, is a much higher HOA fee compared to detached homes in the same community or a similar community. Now, condominiums offer the most lock and leave convenience. You have secured entries, you have extensive common areas, but most of the new condo flats that are being built nowadays don't have elevators. So that can create problems with buyers who have mobility issues or their guests or visitors. Now, like townhomes, the condos are going to share structural elements. They share everything, really. So the HOA fees that cover both the community amenities and maintenance of these shared building components can get pretty expensive. The HOA rules tend to be more detailed, and they cover everything from pet policies to interior modifications like the type of flooring that you can have. Next, it's really important to understand that Mello-Roos taxes can vary based on the home type and size. And these taxes are not tied to your home's market value, but are calculated using different factors like square footage, the size of the lot, the property type, and also sometimes the proximity to specific improvements like schools. So a larger single-family home may have a higher Mello-Roos assessment than a smaller condo in the same or similar community. Now, let's talk about selecting the right home builder, because not all home builders operate at the same quality level, and this decision is going to really impact every aspect of your experience buying a new home. Now, I evaluate builders primarily based on my own experience working with them and also feedback from my clients and colleagues in the industry. And some of the factors that I consider include their track record for completing homes on time, the quality and consistency of their construction and finishes, how they handle warranty issues, and their communication throughout the building process. I also look at their design center practices, their contract terms, and how they work with buyer's agents and outside lenders. Now, I've created detailed builder review videos on my channel that dive a lot deeper into specific companies that are building in Southern California. These opinions are based on real transactions and client experiences, so please have a look at these videos. I'll have them linked down below. Look at these videos for some detailed insights on different builders. The builder you choose affects everything: pricing transparency, upgrade options, construction timelines, and of course your overall satisfaction with the process. Next step. Now we get started visiting the sales center and the registration rule. And this is absolutely critical, so pay close attention to this one. I still have folks contacting me who have made a mistake here. So the sales center registration must be done with both you as the home buyer and the agent together on the very first visit. to any community. After that initial registration, you can go back to the community on your own, go there as many times as you want, but you cannot change real estate agents for that purchase. And if you go alone the first time, you cannot register an agent later on. So that means if you visit a sales center without an agent first, the builders will not allow you to be represented later, and you'll be locked into working directly with the builder's sales team for that transaction, which means you'll lose the advocacy and negotiation support that a new construction home expert buyer representative can provide you. This rule is non-negotiable with most of the builders. Once you're registered, that's your representation status for that community in any future purchase and any future phase releases. So the solution is simple. Schedule that first visit together. I'll handle the registration process and business discussions while you focus on evaluating the homes, the community, and whether or not it fits your needs. And we can ask the right questions without showing our hand on pricing or urgency. Now, if you've already visited a community without representation, contact me immediately. In some cases, very limited cases, we might be able to work with a different phase of the same community or explore other options. I've had a couple successes with a few of the sales center staff that I know personally getting me added after the fact, but that's not always guaranteed, so don't rely on that. Now, we need to consider the pre-qualification process for financing. Pre-qualification requirements are going to vary by builder, but the process generally involves a soft credit pull and a review of your financial documentation. You'll typically need your recent W-2s, tax returns if you're self-employed, bank statements, and other documents that can verify your income and your assets. There are some builders who prefer that you get pre-qualified with their preferred lender before making an offer, or they may require it. Other builders, they'll allow you to complete this step after your offer is accepted. Either way, having your pre-qualification done early keeps you ready to move quickly when you find the right home. And one of the benefits of pre-qualification is clarity. You'll know exactly what price range to shop in, what your down payment requirements are, and what your monthly payments will look like. And this prevents you from falling in love with a home that's outside your budget or having unpleasant surprises pop up during the loan process. You're not locked into using their lender or the lender you pre-qualify with, so you can still shop and compare loan terms from multiple lenders. Now, when you're ready to make an offer, builder negotiations work differently than resale home negotiations. Home builders care about business metrics, absorption rates, sales velocity, hitting monthly or quarterly revenue targets. So understanding these motivations can help us structure offers that work for both parties. And these offer decisions are purely business decisions. They're not tied to emotion. So the experience is the complete opposite to buying a resale home where emotions dictate and decide decisions. Now, I have a couple dedicated videos on my channel that cover negotiation strategies in detail, including what can typically be negotiated, some of the timing considerations, and how to structure offers that builders are likely to accept. So make sure you check those out. They should be linked down below in the video description. The key is understanding what builders can control. So things like seller credits, upgrade allowances, closing cost assistance, versus what they can't negotiate on, such as their contract terms or construction timelines. And different builders are going to have different policies on incentives, on lot premiums, and on upgrade credits. So the strategy needs to be tailored to each specific situation. Now we get into the contract details, because new construction contracts are totally different from resale purchase agreements. And this is an important reason why hiring and working with an agent who does primarily resale transactions to represent you on a new home purchase can be a big problem that you really need to avoid, because each builder writes their own contracts. There's no standardization like you see with resale forms. These contracts are prepared by the builder's legal team, and they protect the builder's interests throughout the construction process. Unlike resale contracts that provide balance between buyer and seller obligations, these new home contracts place almost all of the advantages with the builder, not with the home buyer. So these contract packages that they send you, they typically include a lot of disclosures about the community, construction specifications, the buyer obligations and timelines. You'll see detailed specifications for like materials, construction standards, warranty terms, procedures for handling changes or delays. And the contracts will often include a community map, an HOA document within the disclosure packages, and other materials that can total like literally hundreds of pages. So because these are the builder's proprietary contracts, the language and terms are not negotiable. So our leverage comes from the other offer terms we negotiate before signing. Now, I'm not allowed by state law to give legal advice or interpret contract terms, but I will help my clients get answers to their questions and what they're agreeing to calendar important dates and deadlines, and to ensure they don't miss any required actions during the process. So next, the deposit. We'll talk about the timing and the amounts because these are different than new resale homes. Deposit amounts are really going to vary by the builder and the community, but they're always due either at the time your offer is accepted or within 24 hours. And this is, again, totally different from resale transactions where you typically have up to 3 days to deliver your earnest money deposit. Now, many communities also require additional deposits at the various stages of construction. So, for example, after design center appointments, when selecting certain structural options or certain other milestones in the construction process. The key is understanding the complete deposit schedule up front, including when and how deposits become non-refundable and how they're applied to your final settlement costs at closing. So protection starts with following wire transfer instructions exactly. Always verify wire instructions by calling the escrow company at their published phone number on the wire instructions. Never trust email instructions alone, and confirm receipt of all deposits in writing. We've covered really the first half of the new construction process, and I want to pause here to highlight something really important. If you are finding this information, these videos valuable, please like this video. It helps me continue creating detailed content about the Southern California real estate market and buying new construction homes. I've gotten such great feedback from many of you on these videos, so I want to keep continuing. So please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. All right, now the remaining steps we're about to discuss: financing, design selections, inspections, and closing procedures are where many of the most important decisions get made. And these decisions require careful attention to the timelines and details that can significantly impact your investment. So let's continue with the loan process and schedule, and then the design center process. This is where a lot of home buyers make either really smart decisions in their home or accidentally overspend on their budget and even risk their entire transaction with a loan denial. We'll get right into the loans here because we want to stay on track. Whether you choose the builder's preferred lender to get the best incentive or work with an outside lender, the key to success here is being responsive and communicate. You'll receive requests for updated documentation throughout the lending process: pay stubs, bank statements, letters of explanation, insurance information, a lot of other items that they need to finalize your loan. So the critical point to understand here is that closing delays caused by issues on your side can result in per diem penalties. These penalties can be up to $300 a day and continue until closing finishes. And common causes of these delays are like delayed responses to lender requests or not cooperating with the lender or escrow. So your job as the home buyer is to respond immediately to any lender requests, check your email and phone messages daily, maintain regular communication with your lender about timeline and requirements. If you have questions, you need to call me right away because my job is to coordinate between all of the parties. So the lender, the builder, escrow, and you. I'm going to ensure that everybody stays on schedule and the documents are handled promptly. Now, next, and usually within a couple of weeks of going under escrow, the builder is going to schedule your design center appointment. And this is where you're going to have the opportunity to select your flooring, countertops, cabinets, fixtures, and a lot of the other interior finishes that allow you to personalize your home the way you want it. Budget considerations here are going to vary significantly depending on the community, your personal budget, and your personal taste. So there are a lot of upgrades that provide really good value and are difficult to change later, while others can be a really more expensive way to achieve something that you could do more affordably with an outside contractor after you close escrow. You also may have separate appointments for electronic options, low voltage wiring, and solar equipment selections. So these additional appointments can include options for things like security system pre-wiring, speaker wiring, enhanced electrical packages, and energy equipment. I'm going to give you my personal feedback here. Except for lighting upgrades to add more lights like to the ceiling, and speaker wiring if you really want like a home theater, most of these upgrades are a total waste, especially the security system pre-wire. So I always advise my clients on which selections make sense to do through the builder versus what can be handled more cost effectively after closing. The key here is making informed decisions that fit your budget as well as your lifestyle needs. Moving along, now we have inspections and walkthroughs. So during construction, the city and county inspectors are handling the code compliance inspections throughout the construction process. Foundation, framing, electrical, plumbing, all the mechanical systems, the drywall, before the drywall, after the drywall, all the final approvals. Now, the builder also conducts their own quality control inspections during construction. Most builders really have limited buyer access nowadays to construction for safety and liability reasons, not like it was in the old days. Some communities may offer like a pre-drywall walkthrough so you can confirm the placement of structural options, but a lot of builders have eliminated these due to liability concerns. We've had over the years many an adventure trying to climb through a recently framed through home to confirm the placement of a bathtub and hopefully not falling down the stairs or falling off the second floor. So that's really why they've kind of really started to curtail these, because they can be a little bit dangerous, to be honest. Now, if construction access is available from your builder, you'll want to expect there are going to be some safety requirements that includes like proper footwear, wearing a helmet, and adherence to the site safety rules. And the goal with these little walkthroughs is confirming that the structural elements match your contract specifications before they cover them up with drywall and finishes. Then after construction is done, we have the pre-closing walkthrough orientation. Now, the pre-closing walkthrough serves one purpose, and that's to introduce you to your new home. I can't stress this enough. This is not a quality control inspection. It is not an opportunity to create punch lists of items that need to be fixed. And I had significant issues with a buyer recently who just would not align themselves to the process and insisted the walkthrough was something that it is not. So I really want to overemphasize this here. We're not doing a quality control check and we're not doing a home inspection here. During this walkthrough, you're going to learn about your home systems, where water shutoffs are located, how the appliances work, where the circuit breakers are, thermostat programming, all the other operational aspects of your new home. You're also going to receive the warranty information and claims process, the maintenance schedules, and contact information for all the builder's support people. So plan for about 2 hours, give or take, to cover everything thoroughly. Bring your phone to photograph important information like electrical panel layouts and equipment model numbers. And if there are any cosmetic issues or quality concerns, we handle them separately. And we can schedule extra time in the home for us to check for cosmetic problems once we get approval to access the home. Ideally, I like to do these before your walkthrough so we can take a few moments to make sure the builder is addressing those issues before we begin that orientation. Now, in most cases, you do have the option to hire an independent home inspector at your expense once construction is complete. And this can provide a professional assessment of your home systems and components from someone who is working exclusively for you. Now, most builders are going to allow these third-party inspections, but they typically require the inspection company to provide the inspector's name, license information, and insurance information, and to schedule all of that in advance. So we want to coordinate access. We plan these inspections in advance. And after, we can review the inspection report together to look for anything significant, and then we send it to the builder for their review. Again, I suggest doing this at least a few days to a week before the walkthrough, so we can ask what issues were fixed when we get to the walkthrough. Now, finally, it's time for closing on your new home. The closing process itself has two distinct phases. Now, first, you're going to meet with probably a mobile notary to sign all the loan and title documents, and they'll schedule that at your convenience at a convenient location for you. It can be your current home, it can be your office, but do try to find someplace private to do this. Do not do this in the middle of Starbucks or some public space. You really need to have some privacy here. Now, around this time that we have doing the signing appointment, you're also going to wire your closing funds to the escrow company, again, please, by following their exact instructions. Sometimes that may require you to plan time to visit your bank in person and have a bank employee handle that wire directly with escrow in front of you. They can pick up the phone, they can call the escrow company, verify everything that's on that printed document from escrow to really confirm that the money is being wired to the correct place, the correct account, and everything lines up. Because wire fraud is a very significant issue. You do want to take steps to protect yourself. Now, after document signing and the funding that you're doing, the wire transfer, your lender is going to fund the loan. Escrow is going to balance out all of these financial aspects of the transaction. 3 days before the actual closing, you're going to get a final settlement statement, and then the title company is going to submit your deed for recording with the county recorder's office. So here in Southern California, closing day itself is really simply waiting for confirmation that recording has occurred with the county. And at that point, you officially own the property and you can receive your keys from the sales office. That really completes my comprehensive guide to purchasing new construction here in Southern California. And hopefully these steps provide the framework that you need to navigate this process successfully while protecting your interests at every stage. And if you're ready to begin your new construction home search, you can schedule a consultation with me using the link down below. Also, my contact information is up on the screen. We'll talk, I'll review your specific situation, I'll help you evaluate different home builders, evaluate different communities, and ensure your interests are properly protected throughout the process. Also, down in the video description, check down for a link to download my new construction home buyer's guide, which you can use as a printed reference. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.